There was all the Bynum talk, and you were sort of adamant you didn't want him because of, I guess, because of the injuries, which turned out to be the right move. Will that play into effect with this draft?
You know, it could. Maybe, maybe not. You know, a lot's, again, going to depend on the relativity of this particular circumstance.
How difficult is it to trade up?
It's difficult. Yeah, I think it is difficult. It's challenging. But I think it depends on where you're trying to move. You know, are you trying to move up a lot, a little? What are the pieces that you may be able to utilize to do that? So, again, it is a little bit case by case, depending on what different teams are looking for and what they need and what they want.
Would you be willing to trade down if the offer was
Sure.
correct?
We're open to anything. I think we have to be. We have to be opportunistic, and we have to be willing to be flexible and creative and you know, aggressive if need be.
Well, you got 3 teams ahead of you in the order. How difficult is it to determine which way they're going to go? Last year, Cleveland shocked everybody. Do you have a sense at all of which way
Well,
those
it's
are going?
very, very difficult to discern because everybody lies to each other this time of year. So your guess would be as good as mine.
I don't know about that.
Rob, how much does what happens tomorrow night kind of affect what may happen in July? We've got some guys with non-guaranteed deals, other guys do qualifying offers. What role is tomorrow going to play in their futures?
I think a big role. You know, I think everything's connected. So, you know, the way we try to make decisions, one should lead to the next, should lead to the next, should lead to the next, and it's sort of on a domino type of system. So it will impact things for sure, depending on how it shakes out and what we have on the roster at the conclusion of the draft.
So you've made no decisions with regard to some of those players yet?
Yeah, not yet. We got to get through the draft, and that'll we hope clarify maybe not everything, but the majority of things, hopefully.
Rob, how big is this draft in the process that you talked about?
It's important. Every draft's going to be important for us. You know, we need to make sure we do a good job with the way we draft. So that's how I would categorize it. It's important.
Do you feel any sense of added pressure, given that, you know, this draft has been pointed to for so long, and we're now at 2 seasons without a playoff?
Yeah, not really, no. No, we just got to continue to do our job and continue to believe in our scouting process and believe in the type of players we want to represent this team and this community.
Rob, how encouraging is it that the 2 #1 seeds in the playoffs, the Pacers and the Spurs, were built sort of organically, like you like to say, through the draft? And
yeah, it's encouraging. You know, there are a lot of different ways, I think, to build a really competitive team. And, you know, again, our job is to have a vision and try to execute our plan, but also have the flexibility and the wherewithal to adapt, you know, and follow a different path if needed, or if that's the path that is created for us. So we got to be really flexible and adaptive, I think.
so if LeBron calls you guys, you're going to listen?
You know, we'll get to free agency after the draft, and I can assure you that we'll explore every option that's available to us.
Also, is this draft, a year ago, everybody was very excited about this draft and this crop of recruits or whatever, you know. Are you as excited now as you were a year ago? Some people think it's sort of taken a hit with Embiid being hurt.
Well, who was everybody?
Just
Who was everybody last year that was saying the draft's so good?
the experts.
Well, who are the experts?
Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, I think to be determined. We'll see how this draft shakes out. Ask me in 3 or 4 years. I'll have a much better answer for you.
You've brought in prospects that may or may not get drafted. Is that specifically in thinking for Summer League, or is it also for your D-League affiliation now? And how does that, I guess, kind of affect your thinking going forward?
Yeah, all of the above.
Okay.
All of the above. So we bring in guys that we're looking at the draft this year. We may bring in guys that may be a little out of our range, but we may be trying to get another pick to draft. You know, we may be looking at guys for our D-League team, our Summer League roster, or training camp. So it's really a combination of all those things.
Rob, how much interest has Aaron Aflalo drawn on the trade market?
You know, again, not going to comment specifically on things of that nature, but I can tell you that our players have value around the league, and we take pride in that. And it's our job to listen. It's every team's job to listen and to explore ways to make their team better. And you know, we need to do the same.
What should Magic fans' expectations be for your second lottery pick, 12?
Good question. You know, someone who can contribute. You know, someone who can play a role. Someone who buys into the culture and the identity that we're trying to build here, and someone who's going to just compete their butt off.
When you're having those trade talks, you look at the Dwight trade, you look at the Redick trade. I think the experts, as Mike would say, the Magic won those trades. Is it becoming maybe more difficult for you to make a deal as they see how successful you were with two major acquisitions there?
I think every trade's hard to make, you know, because there's so many different factors involved, different voices, opinions, different objectives. So I think anytime you try to make a trade, it's going to be difficult.
Can you update us on the progress, if any, you've made regarding the D-League team getting a coach or a general manager or anybody installed there?
Yeah, that process is moving along. I don't want to say at a snail's pace, but it's moving slowly. And once we get through the draft, we'll start to accelerate that a little bit. But our hope is to try to have some more definition as it relates to the staff by the end of July, early August, somewhere in there.
Everyone good? All right, thank you.
That's all you guys got.
Tomorrow.
Cool.